Yeah, what's happening, guys? It's Trey back again here to bring you another figure review video. This is going to be a review on DC Universe Wave 20 Collect and Connect Nekron. Pretty much from the Blackest Night, or at least the design from the Blackest Night, because there is an older version of Nekron, which is a little bit more like, I want to say, cartoony and a little bit more ridiculous looking. You can look up the pictures if you wanted the older one on Google. He's kind of funny to look at because he's just so like goofy and cartoony looking. So this is the design from the Blackest Night, and when they first announced that they were going to be releasing this figure, I wasn't exactly sure if I was going to get it or not, just because it's a really nice figure, but we already had a version that was released, which I'll bring out now. This is from the DC Direct Blackest Night series, and this version here has got great detailing, as you can see. Compared to this one here, there's more detailing in the veins on the arms, the piece there with the heart is a darker black, and the chains and everything, there's just there's more paint detail. This is more detailed, really. And it also came with the scythe. You see the scythe there is this. It belongs to DC Direct. I've just given it to the DC Universe because he didn't come with the scythe. So, you know, that's a big thing that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be really upset about, is that this Nekron right here, the Collect and Connect, does not come with a scythe, which is kind of like Captain America without a shield. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, why would you release a Nekron without a scythe? That's like, it's just ludicrous. Captain America without a shield. Who else uses an accessory? Like, Green Arrow without a bow and arrow. Any of these heroes that have, very trademark accessories. And it doesn't come with it. It's just totally ridiculous. So, yeah, so the scythe is from this figure here from DC Direct. So I'm sure that's definitely something a lot of people are going to be upset about, is that the fact that he doesn't come with a scythe. So that, that's definitely a big takeaway from this figure, to make him, close to, not quite what he should be, as a Collect and Connect, since you do have to buy, all these different figures to be able to get the pieces to build them from the Wave. The Wave is a decent wave, I think, overall. I think, the re-release of Sinestro was necessary. The Reverse Flash is cool. Hawk and Dove are, cool characters to get that we never had before. And, it's just a good wave overall. A lot better than some of the waves we've been getting just recently. And Nekron is an amazing character. So it just kind of sucks that you have to buy this guy, the DC Direct, to be able to get the scythe. Because, I mean, me personally, like, I wouldn't display a Nekron without a scythe. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. You kind of have to have it. Now, this one here, the thing about it is that it is way too small. Like, it is ridiculously small. It doesn't fit in scale with any other Green Lantern figures that have been released at all. Probably the ones that it would be the closest to would be like the DC Infinite Heroes. Really, I mean, like the small ones, because Nekron is a bigger character. He's definitely got to be bigger than your average, heighted character. And this one here is not even close. Here, I'll bring out Hawk and show you that he's about, a little bit taller than Hawk. For a DC Direct, that's totally out of scale, because these figures are supposed to be, a little bit bigger, like 7 inches. And this one, compared to the other Blackest Night figures, it's just a midget, really. It doesn't work at all, or even close to it. So, this one is, but you got to get it for the scythe, so it's necessary to get, but, for this guy, but it sucks as a figure on its own. So we'll move that one aside for now, because there's really nothing much else to say about it. I mean, if it's too small and it's out of scale, then it's out of scale. No matter how cool it looks, or, in terms of detailing and that kind of stuff. If it's not on the right scale for your collection with your Green Lantern figures, then it's useless, in my opinion. You can't use it for anything. One thing about this figure that's really nice is the articulation. This is some of the best articulation we've seen from DC Direct. I'm going to take the scythe out here. He's got Collect and Connect. He's got double jointed elbows, as you can see there. He's got swivel there at the bicep. He doesn't have anything here because of the heart, or his heart, of course. His head has got decent articulation. He can look down, which is nice. The only thing is that he can't really look up too far. But the fact that he can look down is pretty cool. What else? He's got, the basic joints for all DC Universe on the legs, and double jointed knees. and everything else is pretty standard for DC Universe Classics. In terms of the detail on the character, I think that it's really well done. Again, as I said, it's not quite as good as this one, as you can see here, in the arms and everything. The face, though, I like better on this one than this one. This one kind of looks a little bit too zombified. This one looks a lot like the comic book, so that's really nice. What else is there much to say? Pretty much the only thing about this DC Universe Classics Collect and Connect figure is that it's kind of plain. It's very plain looking. The colors on it are not too detailed. The shading on it is not too great, as you can see. It's got some nice blue in here in the, this kind of, I don't know if you want to call it like a cloak type thing, with the skirt at the bottom, and some nice detailing around there with the tatters and the holes in it. Pretty nice, and detailing there looks like it's nice and ripped up. Everything like that's cool. It's just I think the arms also might be a little bit too light, and the color they used on it could be a little bit darker, and then they could have used lighter tones like that to really give it even more of a detailed look. The chains could have been black, and the metal look on this one I definitely prefer to the metal look on the DC Universe Classics. That being said, though, I think that the sculpt on the DC Universe Classics is much better. The head sculpt looks really, really nice, the body and everything, and the size is pretty much perfect, pretty much spot on. So a very nice figure. If you're a Green Lantern fan, it's a must-have, I say. Blackest Night, it's a must-have. You pretty much got to get this guy if you're a big Green Lantern fan. And pretty much he renders the DC Direct completely useless. The only thing, so you get the scythe from him, so that's cool to have. The scythe does not fit in perfect scale because, based on the height of a scythe, it should probably be taller, should be like that. But it's not too bad either. It's not too noticeable. The way I had it posed earlier in the video that you saw at the beginning is how I'm going to keep it posed behind his back like that, so you can't really tell. But if you have him hold it straight, it is a little small for him. But it's not the end of the world. It still works. It's not too bad. The detailing in the eyes is really nice too. I forgot to mention that. It's got some really nice blues in there and that kind of stuff. Let's see. What else is there? Not too much else I want to say. I'll give it a score. This guy, for me, is very close to getting a perfect 10, but the things that take it away are no scythe. Okay, so definitely got to take off some points for that. The detailing not being as good as it could have been with the coloring and the paint. The arms, I think, actually are a little too bulky, in my opinion. They should have been a little skinnier. Based on the comic book, if you look it up, he's not that thick. Like, this is okay, but his arms are too big for how he should be. I think they should be a little bit skinnier. So that's just one little nitpicky thing there. Other than that, it's an amazing figure. It's really one of the coolest DC Universe Classics I think we've pretty much ever gotten. A must-have. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Losing half a point for no scythe, losing half a point for the paint detailing not being quite as good as it could be.